The National Arboretum in Canberra is one of the best places to see autumn colour. Most of the trees were planted here around 20 years or so ago. But can you imagine how even more spectacular it would look in another 60 or 65 years? Well, we don't have to imagine too much because we actually have a comparison. Another arboretum, although on a much smaller scale, that was planted that long ago. High in the Brindabellas and established in 1940 was the Bendora Arboretum. It was one of over 30 arboreta planted throughout the Canberra region and surrounds. The idea was to see which exotic timber species would grow better, be more productive in local conditions. After the 2003 fires ripped through the ACT, this was the only upland arboretum left standing. Most of the 52 different species planted here are conifers, spruces, firs and white pines. And by 1974, foresters had determined that the Monterey pine, also known of course as Pinus radiata, was the best species to grow in most sites in cool, temperate southern Australia, like here in the ACT. But in autumn, the most eye-catching species here are the deciduous larches and also the European small-leaved lime. Look at that lovely yellow. One of my favourite parts of the Bendora Arboretum is this sugar pine forest. Love just sitting back in this stump. It's almost like a throne, isn't it? But the sugar pine, one of the more interesting facts about the sugar pine is that it produces the longest pine cones in the world. This isn't that good an example, but they grow up to 65 centimetres in length. One of the reasons I like this part of the Arboretum. If you do make the trek up here to the Bendora Arboretum, be sure to check out the Bendora hut. It's just next to the Arboretum and it's 85 years old. But despite its age, inside, it's in pretty good nick. Set on bush poles and with a corrugated iron chimney, when you come inside, one of the quirks of this hut is this panel, this wooden panel over here, which is actually emblazoned with the words from NASA Logistic Network site in Baltimore. Now, if you look closely at these wood panels, you'll see that they're the remnants of an old packing case that was sent to Honeysuckle Creek tracking station. And it was at that tracking station that in 1969, first vision of man landing on the moon came through to NASA as part of the Apollo 11 mission.